Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We're going to do a couple of different things today. First of all, we're going to have our scavenger hunt for the month of December, which is a super fun one. And I have a very small mail call. We are going to look at the Quilts of Valor book that just came out. We'll do a little sneak peek, then you can go over and check it out. And then we're going to take a version of Oh My Stars and make a table runner. So we'll start today with the table runner. I'll do some tomorrow, and then we'll finish on Saturday. Well, I'll finish. You can still keep working on it, but I'm going to go through and do it in that many days. All right, so first let's do the scavenger hunt. I would like to see your quilty coffee mugs, cups, anything you have that you drink out of that is quilting wise. So let me show you a few of mine. Of course, I think you've seen a couple of them. So I've got my Sloan Zone one mug, see you online. And then we have the holiday version of the mug, peace, friends, sew, merry, stitch, love. All these great sayings on there. I also have the insulated ones. So a bunch of different colors for these, plus another quilt. I think I may have some other ones somewhere else, but I wanted to show you I have this beautiful wine glass that the Virginia Quilt Museum sent me. Can you see it? Yeah, I think you can. They sent me for the anniversary celebration that we did. We all had a toast at the end of the video for that. So today, if you have a quilty mug, a quilty tumbler, a wine glass, because I know I'm not the only one with a quilty wine glass. There's actually quilt wine out there, so some of you may have had that. So share those quilty things in the group today over at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook. All right, my mail call I have from Jolene in Iowa. She sent me this beautiful card. Look how pretty this is. Even the back is pretty. Look at that. I love the dress form. I would love to get a beautiful dress form like that, a wire dress form. I would love to have one of those. She also found, she says she doesn't collect salvages, but she did see this one with the little bears and she thought they looked like gummy bears. So I totally agree. Thank you. Mwah. And then I gave myself a mail call. Well, I have a bigger mail call than what I'm going to show you that I ordered. But you remember when I showed you the secret bag? Well, there was other stuff I bought to get that. But I was at my grocery store and found the espresso. Yeah, the espresso M&Ms. You will note they have not been opened yet. So that is what I'm doing after the video to try those. Yum. Okay, and let me show you the Quilts of Valor book before we dive into the Oh My Stars. Okay, so there is a new book out that the Quilts of Valor organization put together, and they asked some of us to design projects for the book. And I think everybody got maybe some guidance, and mine was to create something very doable by a lot of people, like something, and so I was thinking something that just a repeat block so that you could make it your own. And so mine is, oops, here is mine, is Stars of Appreciation, this guy here, so that you can make, as a group, you can all make the blocks, you can make them scrappy. I did mine with the Morrison Park, but here's a few other ones. This is from Scott Merkin. There is a really cool block. It's like, that could be scrappy too. You could make, and his looks like different reds, different blues in there. Let's see, I think my friend Kimberly Imo made one in here. Here's Marianne Fawns she did another scrappy one. Let's see, and let me just show you one more. There was Kimberly Imo, my friend Kimberly Imo. So that's the quilt that she did. So this is a super cool book, supports the Quilts of Valor organization. So so when you buy one, that's who the proceeds go to. I've got a link below. You can pick it up with your Fat Quarter Shop order, or you can go right to the Quilts of Valor website and you can order it directly from them. So I've given you both of the links so you can order however you like and support such a great organization. And I thank them very much for inviting me to submit a quilt. That was just so nice of them to ask me. I truly appreciated being able to be involved in such a nice project. Okay, we are on now to the Oh My Stars. This is the last one that I made, which I'm going to note there is no binding yet. I will do it, hang it in spring. That's what I will do. So I did that I did this in the fall, this fall, but then it sort of got away from me to do binding on it. But anyway, what I want you to do is look at how the stars are, because the stars, in order to stand out, they really need to be high contrast, and you need to have all the fabrics that are around the star to be high contrast to your star color. And so this is a really good example of that. So that way I did not put any blue fabric right around the star, because otherwise what happens is you lose the star point. See, like this piece of fabric here, whoops, let me see if I can get it. Yeah, this piece of fabric right here that has so much blue in it, if the star had that right next to the star, you would lose the star points. So that's the one important thing about picking fabric for an Oh My Stars. But what we're going to do is a table runner version. And I have a what did I call it? Like a variation diagram. And then I have some directions on it. But you also need to so you need to download this today, which is the diagram for, it's 2 pages. So 2 pages for the table runner. And then you also need this, because if you don't know how to do sew and flip points, that's in here. The diagrams for the sew and flip points are in this one. I just did not copy it over to here. There's no reason to, because most of you have this one already. So this is what we're going to walk through. And first thing we have to do is pick some fabric. So what I'm going to do is get some fabric options out. And we'll go to the other side of the table, because I'm not sure where I want to go with this. I have a collection of Christmas fabric, and I'm going to pull that out. I'm just going to pull it out, take a look at it. I actually found some in another spot, which is part of another project, and I thought, well, let me take a look at that. Then I have the charm pack, the second charm pack that came in the Jolly box, which I did this piece from, which I will show you that border tomorrow. A little bit more about that. But I have that other charm pack. So, because you're going to need for this 21 squares that are not the star, and then there's 3 stars, and then the fabric for the 3 stars. So you don't need a lot of fabric. You also don't need to go buy something. You will have something for 21 squares of fabric. I know you do, and a little bit for the border. So if I'm going to make, I want to make one Christmassy. So, okay, let me go get everything organized on the other side of the table and meet you there. Picking the fabric is the most fun for me of any project. And I brought what my meager amount of Christmas fabric I have anymore. I used to have a lot more, and I decided, I wasn't sewing it up, and I would tend to buy new Christmas fabric to make things. So I gifted away a large amount of my Christmas fabric, and I still have a nice sized tub of some things. So that plus a project that's kind of like, I don't know when I'm going to work on it again, but it's got Christmas fabric. So we're going to take a look at that and the charm pack, and see about pulling together a table runner from what we have, because we are not buying, I am not buying any fabric, and I suggest you do the same. So the project itself, let's just get a little bit closer. Here is the Oh My Stars. This is the original pattern, and it's for 41 by 50, which is what I showed you on the wall. You could always add a bigger border on it. The one on the wall actually has a slightly bigger border, which there's an add-on page you can get at the link I have at my website today. But there's also an add-on pattern to make bigger versions of this. But the free one is just going to show you how to do the sew and flips. So that is the important part for having this printed off. This new variation of the table runner, on page 2, I have all of the cut sizes you need for the border, and how many squares, how many stars, how many star points you need to cut. So everything is here that you need, really, and they're just sew and flips. The sew and flip float, I'll show you that tomorrow. I would sew and flip star points and show you how they float, which is how I designed it, because it makes it really nice and forgiving. So this is what you're going to get today. You're going to get these 2. Be sure you have them. And now we're going to look at some fabric. Because what you need is 21 squares, You need then some fabric to do the stars, and it's just 3 squares plus the smaller, you know, sew and flips, and you have to do all those, and then a border. So let me see what I have. First is the same fabric that I used for the presents. This is the other charm pack that came in the Jolly box. It has got a great variety. I love the fabric. And definitely I could just use white, one of the white fabrics that I have, for a border on it. So that's one option, but I wanted to show you what I have. So this is my one box. Here it is. This is all I have left of official Christmas fabric. So things that I, either go together or are definitely holiday fabric. And I used to have this box plus 2 others that fit inside of it, so they were like a stacking set. So they were a little bit smaller, the other 2 boxes. And this is what I kept. I'm going to pull it all out and we're going to take a look at it. First of all is this set, which is a totally different concept. Look at the little peppermint candies. My Nana always had peppermint candies. Then this is by Heather Ross. It is like these Christmas, Christmas mice, just oh so cute stuff. All of this was all the collection. I bought all the pieces for the collection, and then I've done nothing with them. And then I bought this orangey color. Why I bought that color, I don't know, but at the time that seemed good. So, but I'm not going to use this. So that just gets saved over there. Now in here are things that I kept. So let's look. Oh, I also have that other, wait. I have to go get it. I have one other stack. This stack is not very big, but this is the fabric I kept from Will You Be My Neighbor. So when I finished Will You Be My Neighbor and I emptied that bin out, I decided to just keep these. This is all I kept because I'd used things in the quilt. I really didn't feel a need to keep them, so those were all going off to charity. But I kept this grouping. So I have those to look at, and now I will just empty. Let me just go ahead and empty this bin and show you what's in here. And maybe I might even decide something in here I don't need anymore, which is fine, which is totally fine. The first one I have is this particular print. It's very, I think it looks very vintage. I've had it a long time, and I think it's timeless. So things that to me feel very timeless, I'm definitely going to keep because I might use them somehow. This is a very yellow based fabric. And then these little cars with the trees on top. Oh, got to keep that. And of course I had more of this. Here's some with little figures on it. That's an Anila Hoy from years and years ago. Here's some that goes together. These were all let me just get this whole thing out here because these are all Corey Dantini's. And there's just a bunch of Christmassy stuff of hers all of this. And she's got panels that she comes out with over, often. And I just think, I will someday do something with these. They're from a few years back, so I have no idea where you could find them, but they are just darling. So she has the reindeer, and she's got a little tree, and there's just a bunch of prints on here, different ones. And then there were some companion fabrics that I kept because I thought, well, if I do some sort of a panel and collage-y kind of stuff, there's presents, they all have the same feel, which will work, well together. It's like, here's this panel has Santa on it. So cute. I love her people and figures. So there is Santa, and I believe here on the back side, there's actually 3 pieces here. Here's a snowman. So these are ones that I would love to do a little quilt for myself. So like the Heather Ross one over there with the mice, this is not being used today. So that's kind of stuff to be put together. Now the rest in here, I have some cute little Santas, and I have these Christmas cup glasses that Cotton and Steel did this line. It's so cute, just so cute. I think that's where these guys were a companion to that. I have the ladies in their striped dresses, which is what I used for that pillow. And then the scenery, anything with scenery like this, I love. Here's another version, some other scenery fabric. The City Life. Yeah, those are good. Those would be cute. Those ones would be cute for the table runner. Here's snow globes, which I think went with those cups. That would also be cute. Then I have this older piece that I'm keeping. I mean, it's totally different style than most of this other stuff, but I just love the leaves, holly, and the Noel with it. Here is Santa. I've used pieces of this. Santa in the Cadillacs. Love it. Here's another one that's kind of vintagey, and I've got a huge piece of it. I know at one point I had an idea for it, but I am keeping it. I love that. I love the shades of green and red. So someday that will become something. And then I have, there's another project in there. Someday I'll bring that out, maybe during this, maybe not. We'll see. And then I have this, reproduction feed sack, which I would love to do something with, do a quilt. So cute. So cute. Okay. Well, I'm not in the mood for Santas. I'm not in the mood for the vintagey stuff. Let me put, that could come out here. All right, so I've got this whole container goes over here. And so from all of these, I could go through here and find pieces that I want to use. If I was going to do that, what I might do is something fun, like maybe I want to use these, or maybe I want to use the ladies. I don't know, I'm kind of hoarding that. I did the pillow, now I'm like, oh, I don't know, I might have something else I need it for. But if I was going to do something like this, then I would take the layout and decide, like, do I want to alternate them like every other one? The blocks are 5 inches, and so the thing with the ladies is that you're going to, cut them up somewhat. They would fit in there pretty good. I'm not doing the ladies today, though. It's not what I'm in the mood for. So they will go back in the container. And a lot of this is red, as you noticed. I only have a couple pieces that are green. Now, one nice thing is these kind of lights, which would be fun to alternate. I could probably get, if I was going to just pull stuff from here, let's say I was going to do these Santas, maybe. I might need a darker to go against the Santa. I don't know. I have to pull down in the greens that I own. Here's another fun one that would be fun to use. The cable cars reminds me of when I went skiing as a kid. They would be fun to do with something playful, like maybe the snow globes. Like, you could just alternate the colors every other one, or you could do a bunch of different colors. So the last thing I want to show you, from besides all of these groupings, here is this project I have. And I started this, I don't know, a couple years ago or something. Probably when I did this quilt back here, because I think, well, no, part of the fabric that's in here, this is what was left from that project up there, because this is the actual backing. This was like what I put on the backing, and that's like some of the fabric that was in this line, and then here's the backing. So that's the same fabric, but this was, here it is. See, this is the fabric that was in this line, but this other stuff is not. This one is, oh no, it is. It is. Never mind. It was called Hustle Bustle. Somebody reminded me of that the other day on our live chat when the video runs in the morning. So it's called Hustle Bustle. So I have these pieces of Hustle Bustle, which are super nice. Not that many. I would probably want to pair it with something, I don't know. There's a lot of this, so I could definitely do this with some, yeah. Look at this. This would actually work as a table runner, I've got that light, I've got this print, then I've got the people. It's just, do I want to give up the people for this? I have the green people, and then I have a red. So all of these, because I only need 22 squares, and then whatever I would use for the star, 22 squares is not that much. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So if there was 5 from each, yeah, then that would be a little bit more than I need. Now what I had been doing, then I had a charm pack. And so from the charm pack, I could actually pull out a few more and get a more variety. Ooh, that would be kind of fun. Okay, so I have to think on that. That's the other option. But this is what I was making with them, are these little, I put the people in the middle of these tiny little shoe fly blocks. So they're like 3 inches. And they're just scrappy corners. I used up all the corners I had, I think, from making the bigger quilt behind me, and then added some, but I was putting the people in the middle. So I have a whole handful of those, enough I could actually probably just do a quilt. Okay, so your assignment today, on day 1 of this, is to go through your fabric and decide what you have that you would want to make. I am leaning towards either the charm pack that went with the presents, or just going ahead and using up this hustle bustle, and maybe these will just become a little project on their own, you know. And this definitely, I mean, I won't use it all up. I only need 22 squares, so that would definitely be one I could look at. Tomorrow, what we're going to do on the video is I will lay them out. I will lay out the fabrics I'm going to pick and put them in position and pick the star fabric, and then show you sewing the points of the star, which are floating, which makes it easy because you're not trying to match points. It's super fun. You can go to the website link that's at my description box and at the website today, and you can see close-up pictures of it. Okay, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you tomorrow online.